welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am all the way in the UK currently, but I have so much film still on my computer of past projects, so I thought I'd finally upload my Vivarium build for my gecko. This was a couple months ago, so the progress has continued, and she's still thriving in the environment and still doing great. Of course, some of the plants have changed, so if I've added videos and photos within, there is a progression of change. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions, let me know. It's a quick summary. It's not too intense, but I will link some better videos down below of the inspiration that I got it from and everyone that's built these previously. Enjoy! Getting right into it, I am just installing these lights on the Decor Ikea glass cabinet, and these are just 3-bar grow lights I got off of Amazon. I'll link them down below. Super simple, they stick right on. I have had problems with them falling off only once, so I super glued them on afterwards. But getting right into the whole decor of the cabinet, I used silicone, and make sure that it is pet friendly, so it has to be 100% silicone. This brand is the only one that I've found that is 100% safe for animals. I am just sealing up all the edges to keep the humidity in there, as my gecko, which is the animal that is going in this terrarium, Vivarium, needs high humidity. The next step is I'm using this foam. If you've ever watched any install videos of building tanks or anything like that, super common to use. I think in total I used 2 or 3 of these foam ones. I struggled a little bit as they didn't expand as much as I thought they would, and then I had so many extras that I wanted to add in, but overall it stuck to the glass pretty easily, so I didn't have to add any silicone to help with the sticking. I made sure to have all these wires that went to the lights be covered for the most part. But then there was that little plug-in, as you see I'm messing around with, that I needed to keep out, so I super glued that to the top, so I'm able to turn the lights on and off. Yeah, and then the next step I am... Next, I just had some extra cork bark lying around, so I added that on top. I didn't have any issues with this falling off later, so you can just stick it right into the wet foam and it should hold just fine. These are actually from one of the reptiles tanks I had earlier, so I reused a lot of materials for this project because I didn't want to go out and buy any. Something that I did go buy were these cute little brown planter pots. They're decomposable, so I was hoping over time that they would just kind of go away, if that was even possible, as they are just made of recycled cardboard, I think. But I add those in to hold some of the plants that are up on the wall. This project did last. It took me a couple days, so I'm having to re-put on foam to make it be able to stick again, as the first layer had dried by the time I got to the second layer. And then the next thing that I did was I added all of this moss. I just got this whole bag for about $3 at Home Depot. It's just ground covering moss. I did have some random other moss that I've had from my previous videos that I added on, but most of the moss that you've seen in previous videos is actually went onto a whole moss wall, so that wasn't really accessible for me. But yeah, I just kind of kept going on. It stuck pretty well to the foam. I did have to go in later on and silicone down some of the moss as it was falling down. But yeah, super kind of straight to the point concept of what I'm doing. I added moss to all of the backgrounds so you weren't able to see the foam, and then I added in just kind of sprinkling of dirt in the gaps that I couldn't fill with moss, just to give it that realistic look. And then the next thing that I did was I set it up, and to be able to keep the dirt in the bottom, I added one of the glass shelves from above and I siliconed it into the bottom. There is that weird black stripe, and that's because the grow light was previously on the glass and I just was unable to get it off. But I cleaned it with Windex. And then for all the reptile people, I did wait a few days before putting my Legianus gecko in the tank. Just so then like the smell of all the chemicals and everything could leave the tank and not affect her in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, I cleaned that up and then I siliconed in. And then just for extra measure, I also used the leftover foam that I had to hold the glass into place, as it was slightly wiggling a little bit too much with all of the silicone. And I was too impatient to like tape it down and hold it in there. And as for how I put the dirt in, I used Leca at the bottom just for an extra drainage system. There are definitely a lot better videos of how to do a bioactive ground flooring. I definitely just kind of used what I had, and I didn't go out of my way to get more things just because I was trying to save money. But I added a layer of dirt on top. And then I also had a weed mat in between the Leca and the dirt just for the extra filtration system. I added a bunch of plants. I previously did an unboxing with Botanicas, and most of those plants went into the terrarium. I will say this would have worked out just perfectly with these plants in here if I hadn't added a gecko in. With my gecko, she kind of not purposely destroyed everything, but she unintentionally destroyed a lot of the plants. So I ended up changing things out and adding hardier plants to the vivarium. But yeah, in summary, that is what it looks like. And I'm completely, utterly in love. And Scout, the gecko, is also loving it. Months down the line of making this, she's still enjoying it. Okay, and then Scout is added in there, so she's just right here. She's been loving this little branch, but she's been all over the walls and everything like that. I did have fans in there temporarily, but they were just drying everything out too quickly. But yeah, it's kind of like crazy random down here. It hasn't like really attached. Yeah, the Anthuriums I wouldn't say are doing that great, but I think it's just like my humidity is not quite there yet, so I think I will be getting a humidifier, like a smaller one. Awesome. I hope that was helpful a little bit. Definitely there's a lot better videos out there of explanations of how to do this, but this is what I did. A couple months later and it's still doing well. I will hopefully add some photos in that I get sent from my mom, as it's currently in her classroom. But yeah, click like, subscribe, and comment below.